It's, it's a bit of a dark day. It's sort of a bit grey and a bit miserable today, but it keeps raining every time we go out to do some work. But never mind, I'm not crying about that today. It's supposed to be a bit of a rest day for us. Um, I'm using a new camera app for my iPhone. I can't quite work it out, but never mind. There's the chickens. We've cleared the yard, sort of, and we can sort of get the car under the decking into the garage. But there we go. So we've got a few bits around there. It's all starting to look tidy. We had a Greenpeace chap trying to get us to enroll and subscribe, enroll to Greenpeace. But he was raving over the garden, Jill tells me, with all the vegetables and stuff that we've now started to plant. I'll stop waving it around now. So yeah, but we've got the chickens looking a bit scruppy because they're molting at the moment, and they're getting a bit bad-tempered with it, so they're not coming up quite as much, and they're telling each other off quite a bit. But anyway, we're getting rid of the rooster. He's got to that age. I'll just a bit of a mess there, but you can't see him too well. He's just behind the wire netting. He's going to be a nice chap, but yeah, we can't have him in suburbia, so he has to go. That's simple. So really, a bit of an update. And it's probably as much as I'm going to do today, but I might have a look around tomorrow upstairs. I've got a new hat. Had to when we went down south because I forgot to take my leather one with me. And this is an oilskin, cotton oil, and it feels like an alien on my head. It's funny how things get to you in that way. My old hat just fits on, you forget about it, but this one's not too good, and I don't like the dangly string piece, so I have to get folded back into the thing as well. So anyway, gone into ramble mode. There's some chickens, and oops, as I said, they don't like each other at the moment, and we're working our way down there to clean up. Happy days. And we've got a long weekend, so that's even better. So I can rest today, and then I've still got 2 days to get on and just do a bit of work, which is always good. And there we go. So the plan is just to start tidying up again, getting some of this stuff done in the front yard. Lots of boxes which we'll end up keeping, with citrus and so on. And plenty of other things we just want to sort of get planted out into the more formal border. So I've got a pile of cuttings and things to fill that up, which is good. I've got some seedlings, which are there. That's my little seedling patch. So there's all sorts there, including flowers and things. So kales and so on. Now they're not in the full sunlight. So as we head into the deep winter, midwinter, we're going to get less and less sunlight on this place, which is why we grow the greens and so on. And then it'll start coming right again. Border, that's our big box, so it's 3, 8, 24 inches high, which is 2 feet, which is 60 centimetres plus in depth. So we usually grow pumpkins and things. We didn't so much this year, but we've still got the tomatillos, which are self-sown, and there we go. When the name comes back to me, I'll say it. And we've got the marigolds, basil. So all this needs to be cleaned out, and then we'll start cleaning up the greenhouse as well, which we've got chilies and stuff in there at the moment, just sort of extending the season with those ones. These couldn't go in, we couldn't fit them in, so I've got a giant banana. All things, I went and bought a banana plant, I'll show you later, and I thought it would just tick away, it'll take for ages to grow, and it's filled my greenhouse up, so I've got to decide what to do with that. And then we'll start sort of hacking back on the brambles and stuff from outside of the garden that keeps wanting to come in. got some carrots growing, a few weeds there, the sun's a pain. But they're doing well enough. They're growing quite nicely, so that'll be our winter crop for carrots, winter crop for beetroot, which need weeding again. We bought a few bits and bobs there as well. Some good deals on at the garden centre, so just grabbed a few. Got celery growing there, which is nice. Just trying to reposition myself because I have to come across. You can see me with the hat on, the shadow. And then we've got a few quick pick greens. So as we drive in through the winter, we just pick these and go in. We've got a healthy meal straight away. Good healthy celery. Can't see so much because of the shadow and that. So some fancy plant that's just been bought yesterday. There's a few seedlings. So there's cabbages. We've got double lot of cauliflower, and I didn't grow cauliflower. I was going to skip it this year because it's not my favourite, but we do make cauliflower rice and stuff out of other things, and it's expensive at the moment. I mean, it's just ridiculous, the cost of it. So for the sake of putting a few bits in, thought we'd just get on and do it. It's a nice, pretty flower. Can't remember what it's called. There we go, it'll come back to me. And this border, I've got my really nice I think they're jalapeno peppers. We'll get them picked. So these peppers I'm going to pull out. We've kind of done the stint, I think. A lot of them are starting to rot, some of the ones, especially the capsicums with the wet and the cold. So the plan is, get this sorted, we'll start making our way through, get it all tidied up, and then we'll start on the other side, which is a shocker. And there we go. Front garden. So, as we said, we tend to lose quite a bit of the sun through the winter. So this is still in shade, but the one sunny spot is where you find, when it goes quiet, it's where the chickens come to do their thing. They have the dust baths and they just pick around. Those are the youngsters, which you going into the shade, so you're not going to see them. It's Hetty, the dark one, Bard Rock. Old Penny, she's molting badly. She's an Easter egger, so she lays green eggs. And then we've got Agnes, who wants to be top dog, but not yet, because Hetty's holding the fort. And then we've got Mrs. B. There's a Barn Velder, and the only one we managed from a batch of eggs. She's a nice one. And I don't know where the others have gone, so I'm missing a bantam somewhere, but can't see them. But this is their little sort of dust bathing area. And also because it's under the big totra tree, which has outgrown the garden, to be honest, but there we go. If I can get it in focus, it just goes up and up and up and up and up. Yeah, sorry. Bad photography going on. Just get this back into focus. And there's Mickey, who tolerates the chickens, but there's been a few standoffs with Mrs. B and Mickey. And yeah, still a bit of a stalemate there, I think. Oh yeah, there's Agnes all flopped out. So eventually we will sort of clean the area up and they won't be able to come into here so much. Wow, that's really struggling with the light. But for the moment they're enjoying it, so we'll let them go. And we don't have any snail problems because of the work they do on this stuff, which is good. Lots of activity going on around us, saws and mowers and everything's happening because it's a long weekend and it's a good day. We've had a lot of rain overnight. Not enough. There's a borders, it's still very dry down below, so it's barely sunk into the ground. But these are doing alright. So I've got broccolini, curly kale, and just behind that some Calvanero kale as well. And then a bit of a mess, but anyway, my climbing beans, one set of them are there. It's towards the end now for them, so they'll come out soon. I'll plant some more stuff in there. Similarly, there's amongst the weeds, but there's some capsicums and peppers there, so we're going to just harvest them. And this is another climbing bean, which has done a little better than the others. Fared a bit better in the cold for some reason, but I don't know. We'll give it a go. Might be a meal or so out of them if we're lucky. The final meals from them, so I might just pick them for tonight. We're going to have chicken casserole tonight, so we'll do some of that. But yeah, very happy with those. Just weeding, because even in this autumn, it's just the beds haven't got cold enough and the chickweed is still growing. Now generally that'd be like the end of October in the northern hemisphere, but chickweed needs around 15°C soil temperature to sprout, to grow. But it's growing very well here. It's completely matting underneath these, which are more broccolini and some broccoli, I believe. There might be some cauliflower if I can remember rightly, but I'll have to check that. They seem to be doing alright, reasonable size. We've had a good warm autumn, so they've taken advantage of that. And then, excuse the mess, I'll hide some of that apart from our view, which is always nice to look at. Oops, a few birds in there. Can't get in now because everything's starting to grow around it, so I'm not getting the views I used to have. So I'm going to change that. All this is going to cut down over winter. The last of the beans on this side as well. Don't use canes for them to grow up because it's expensive. In New Zealand they're just ridiculously expensive. There we go. It's overdone. Be good for seed maybe later on if I decide to leave them. There's one or two in there. It's still quite nice. But really I'll take them down now. And they've done their stint as well. And then this border, which had pumpkins growing and all the rest of it, I'll clean that up. And we'll get some, I forgot what it's called, broad beans. Get my broad beans in. And then again, as everything's growing like crazy, this wasn't anywhere near this size a few years back when I planted, so that's coming out. So I'm going to have a go and get the saw. We've got a couple of fern trees growing as well, so I might take them down. And if I opened all that up, I'd have enough room for a small orchard, really. Certainly apple trees and plums and pear trees, maybe in some tubs. So we just need to think about that. Or we may move house, of course. The options are endless. Anyway, there we go. I'll just quickly show the two borders. A bit of work to be done on there. Just working through it all now, but they're doing quite nicely. And I hope you saw that. That was a fantail whizzing through. Just a favourite bird. If they get too tame, and the cats get them. Anyway, nice sunny day across the valley. And how's that for a blue sky?